Welcome to Between Two Ovaries, your go-to for all things women's health.
A lot of people just say like, oh, my vagina.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
that's
all
not,
of the above.
That's not your vagina.
No.
Well, it is.
We're here to cut through the confusion, bust some myths, and give you the facts straight from the experts.
You cannot still believe the amount of people that come to a gynecology clinic saying that they don't look right down there and they need something doing about it.
We're keeping it real, bringing you honest conversations about topics that matter to you.
Everything goes back to the menstrual cycle. Yes, it's a low-risk procedure, but it's not a no-risk procedure.
From periods to menopause and everything in between, we've got you covered.
So whether you're here to learn, laugh, or just listen, you are in the right place.
As soon as I said it,
Welcome to today's episode, which we have called Gynae Mythbusters.
So the reason
We're not singing it, okay?
So the reason we're doing this episode is basically the same reason as why we do our podcast in general. There's so much misinformation out there, and we are here to debunk the myths and tell you what's actually true.
I like it.
Definitely. So we've done a lot of doom scrolling on TikTok, Instagram, looking through comments. It's been great fun. So our first myth is that period blood shouldn't change, across your period, and brown blood means that you've got low progesterone. So we think there's maybe this claim because people think it's a sign of like a hormonal imbalance if the blood colour changes or if it's brown, and specifically people have hit on that low progesterone and they're clinging on for dear life. So what do we make of it?
So definitely normal for your period to change colour,
Yeah.
the blood to change colour over
Yeah.
the cycle. So it will usually be red, maybe some kind of dark red clots sometimes. And towards the end of your period, it goes brown. It will usually always go through a brown period.
Yeah.
A brown period. The period will go through a brown phase because brown blood is old blood that's been oxidised and
Okay.
changes colour.
And that makes sense, I guess,
Yeah.
because the last bit's coming out.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Sometimes people
Chilling up there
can
for
have
a
like
while.
brown spotting at the beginning as well.
Yeah.
Nothing to worry about, nothing
Okay.
changed. Doesn't mean that
Doesn't
you
mean
have
you don't need to panic about your
progesterone
hormones.
deficiency.
Good.
No.
Good.
Some people can worry about progesterone deficiency if you have a very short luteal phase. We have discussed this before. So the second part of your cycle should be about 2 weeks. If it was much, much less than 2 weeks. So the second part of your cycle means the part after you've ovulated. So you have your period, then you have the first part of your cycle, then you ovulate, then the second part of your cycle. If that is very short, then that could be something to do with your progesterone. But the colour of the blood that comes out, nothing to do with the progesterone.
Okay.
Brown is
Good.
normal.
Yes.
Myth 1, done.
Myth 2. If a girl touches a boy when they're on their period, their boy will get a period too.
Obviously,
So-
yeah.
This is some sort of
Seriously?
like playground myth that periods are contagious.
I hope that this
Hopefully.
comes from the girls and they're like, I'm going to touch you and give you a period.
Feel my pain.
But in reality, it's probably the boys being mean, isn't it? They're probably being
yeah.
like, oh, I don't understand that, so I'm going to run away from you. But yeah, obviously not true. Sadly not true. Would be fun if you could.
So we
Tag
say,
you're
it's not true, it's not contagious. But some people do say that their cycles sync up.
Yeah, when people live together, so when a group of girls live together, sometimes their cycles can kind of sync a little bit. So they find that they've done some studies on, sorority houses.
Oh, the big ones in America.
In America.
Oh no, that's the one.
That's
Sorority.
sorority. And there is some evidence that you can sync your cycles. But yeah, you wouldn't be touching and passing on.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not-
it's
not
nothing to do with
dangerous.
that.
Okay, resolved.
The next one I actually think is really interesting because I sat in my little house scrolling on TikTok and this comes up and I was like,
Ooh.
residual casts. A whole thing that I was like, what on earth is that? But I guess that's when the whole lining apparently comes out in one. So if you have a residual cast, that's abnormal, that's unhealthy. But I guess my whole question is like, everything, let's go. I don't know what's going on.
It's not abnormal or unhealthy. So when you're having a period,
I'm going to say I think we need to go back a step.
I'm like, I barely know what she is.
Yeah.
so your period is the endometrium, the inner lining of the womb, the upper layer of it shedding.
Yeah.
Usually it comes away in like patches, so you'll have bits of the endometrium, the lining, which might look a bit clumpy, but mostly it just looks like blood most of the time. in some people, sometimes the whole endometrium can shed together in one big go. It's called an endometrial
That does
cast or a
happen.
residual
Yeah.
cast. It can happen, and it can look a bit weird.
People bring
but it's
them
normal.
into hospital quite often.
I feel it
But
might be a
because
bit
it is
confusing to
it.
people.
So it can be sizable, and it looks like tissue because it is tissue. But it's not a pregnancy that someone's lost.
Yeah.
It's not a baby.
I've heard
Because I think
people
that's
thinking
the
they've
fear,
had
yeah.
a miscarriage, but it was a
Yeah, you can see why. Because if your period's normally similar in terms of like colour and consistency every month, and then suddenly you pass this blob, you're like, what is
I
that?
would be terrified. I'd be like, what?
Yeah.
I'd kind of
I'd definitely be snapping a picture of it.
Oh, absolutely. I'd kind of love it because I'd be like, oh, that's what she looks like on the inside.
But would you love it if you didn't know what it was?
Well, now I do, and now everybody listening does,
Yeah.
so they'll know not to
Yeah.
panic. But like,
Don't worry.
I think it would give you the fear.
We do have quite a lot of panicky people with residual casts, and you can appreciate why they would panic with this.
mental.
Because it's not kind of what you would normally have as a period, and if you've never had it before, and then you suddenly pass like not like a golf ball, a bit smaller than that,
Yeah.
but it genuinely
It's
looks.
so hard to pass it.
No,
It
shouldn't
just
be.
happens like a
unless you
normal
have
period.
painful periods
Well, yeah,
anyway.
yeah.
But
It's like passing when people pass clots, so you
Yeah.
have kind of a gush, and it can be kind of crampy because your tummy, your womb's trying to get rid of
The
something.
whole thing.
So,
but it could be painless as
Yeah.
well. It doesn't always mean
You
it
could
will be
just see it
painful.
in the
Yeah,
toilet and be
yeah.
like,
What have I just done?
I think it's pretty cool. I mean, it would,
Yeah.
like I would do the same as you and take a picture and be like, huh, look what came out of me.
maybe not like post it on your Facebook.
Probably not.
Maybe not everyone needs to see it.
Another myth. Period blood and vaginal discharge are toxic and dirty, and I think this comes from people thinking it's different to the blood that comes from your veins around your body.
Yeah. So again, not true. So this is like a historic myth. So like back in the day, even stories of like people conceiving on their period, people thought that it would like produce a puny, like scary looking like mutant baby.
Bad
But like
kid.
genuinely, yeah. And there's loads of like historical things about
That's
how
crazy.
like women on their period shouldn't touch food or shouldn't be allowed in
Yeah.
certain
There's,
places.
I think there's in different cultures, there's
Yeah.
different
Yeah.
things that go on.
But scientifically, no. It's actually like your period blood is actually quite a useful thing. So I was going to bring up, there's a podcast that I'd listened to a while ago, which is really good. Obviously ours is great. But if you also like podcasts like this, there's a podcast called Visible Women by this author. She's called Caroline Criado Perez. She wrote a book called Invisible Women, which is a really good book about how like the world is kind of designed for men and how that impacts women, from things like, you know, if you have symptoms of a heart attack, they're based on what a man experiences as a heart attack.
Yeah,
like,
all the studies.
to like, you know, that your kitchen counter is a standard size based on how average height of a man is. Kind of stuff like that.
Is it actually?
It's a really good book.
Mental.
But she then had a podcast, and one of the episodes was called Murderous Menstrual Blood, which is really interesting. So they found on Twitter an author, like a researcher, submitted a paper to a journal to be published. And the paper was about how menstrual blood could be used as a source of stem cells to try and study things.
Okay, yeah.
This was like probably maybe 5-10 years ago, I think. They submitted the paper, and then usually the process of trying to get a paper published is it gets peer reviewed by like a couple, maybe a few more experts in the field of what you're researching. So they got this paper rejected, and one of the reviewers had written in the rejection letter lots of things, but the main thing was that as we know, like menstrual blood is toxic.
As we know.
Yeah.
As we know.
So can't recommend this for publication. And it even said that it's known that women can take a couple of drops of their menstrual blood and use it to kill their husbands.
I'm going to remember that one next time. It pisses me off.
I know. So this is like a scientific expert who believes that menstrual blood is toxic enough to kill a man.
And this is someone professional enough to be peer reviewing.
Oh my god.
So they never revealed the name of this person. They never revealed the journal it was initially submitted to. And the paper eventually got
Well,
published
I
somewhere
assume
else.
it's a man, and I assume if we revealed the name that they might have some period blood in their cup of tea.
And they would be fine.
I feel like it would just be their overreaction that's killing
That's
them.
crazy.
Yeah, yeah.
They're just so like, oh.
But it just shows like it's definitely, well, even in the scientific community, sadly, there's probably some people that have a stigma associated with period bloods being dirty and that kind of thing. But definitely in like the general population and in some religions and cultures, it's believed that your period is a really dirty byproduct. But it's actually really useful, and there's loads of research now that's shown that if we collect your menstrual blood, we can learn a lot about what's going on in your endometrium at the time, related to endometrial endometriosis, other conditions. So it's really useful.
It's becoming more and more used because actually getting a sample of the lining of your womb is an invasive test. It's a
Yeah.
lot more invasive
But
than
wearing like a menstrual cup.
exactly.
Yeah.
So we can collect the period blood a lot easier than we
Causing
can collect.
no harm.
no harm, and like it's pain free,
lining of
isn't
the
it? You
womb.
just it's there anyway. Why
And
not
what
use
else
it?
would you be
Might
doing
as
with
well.
it?
And we use
Killing your
urine,
husband.
we use spit, we use poo, we use blood. Why would
Yeah.
we not use period blood as well?
Yeah.
Because it's
Love
toxic.
that.
It is funny though because I think even like not just men and women don't like the thought of kind of collecting period blood, but they'll collect a vaginal swab, they'll
Yeah.
collect urine,
A poo sample.
no problem.
Poo sample with a little scooper.
Who's more toxic than
Definitely.
Yeah.
period blood?
I mean, that is literally the waste, isn't it?
It is changing, I think, definitely in the scientific world, because
Yeah.
there's a lot more research now using menstrual effluent to learn things.
Effluent.
What did you call it?
Menstrual
Menstrual
effluent. Yeah, fancy word for period blood.
She had to show that she's a doctor and she has a PhD.
Effluent.
Lovely stuff.
Sounded fancy.
So to tag on the end of that one, vaginal discharge, same idea, not toxic, not bad, all
Definitely
good.
not toxic. And
Normal.
we went into this at length that when you're trying to get pregnant, you can kind of track your vaginal discharge and it can be quite helpful as to know where you are in your cycle. You have different discharge at different parts of your cycle, which is completely and utterly normal. Mid-cycle, when you're going to ovulate, you will have quite a lot of discharge and it's usually, they call it egg white consistency because it's quite stretchy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like clear, stretchy.
Yeah, and
watery.
you will have less and more at different times of your cycle. Again, completely and utterly normal. If you have a discharge that smells, that's thick and white, if you're worried about it at all, then see someone about it,
Yeah.
obviously. But on the whole, most vaginal discharge, not an issue, normal and helps with lots of things.
Yeah.
Because you've got that discharge at the time when you're ovulating to aid transport of sperm to the right place at the right time if you did want a pregnancy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's all kind of like helping. It will aid lubrication if you're going to have intercourse. There's lots of different jobs that it does. You wouldn't want to be without any vaginal discharge.
Yeah, I don't know why people find it so, I don't know, offensive. It's like...
And it's something that happens every day as well. It
Yeah.
happens more than
To everyone,
periods.
yeah.
Yeah,
So-
and it's totally normal. Like, you have spit in your mouth, that's normal. No one's offended by that.
I'd be offended if you spat at me.
What, like
at you. Not on purpose,
I
anyway.
agree. I feel it's just similar to like people having snot in their nose or earwax in their ears,
Yeah.
spit in your mouth.
It has a
It's-
function, it's useful, it gives you an indicator, like, how healthy things are, where you are in your cycle.
yeah.
It doesn't mean you
It's
have
not a bad
to
thing.
love it and be like, oh yes,
best thing ever.
Yes.
Got discharged.
but
Because I remember
you can if you want.
Yeah, I remember when I was at school, when we were sort of like first taught about like period products and being told like, oh, well, every day you should wear a panty liner because like you'll have discharge.
What?
Yeah, no,
No.
genuinely. And I know people to like, maybe not to this day, hopefully they've learned, but I know people who would. Like they would
That's
follow
not,
that
it's
rule.
not
a
great
good
for the
idea.
environment, is it?
Literally.
But
I'm
also
not
I'm
thinking
like,
that. I'm like, irritation.
Not great for your
Yeah.
vulva. Like, you need to
Yeah,
allow
so
it
I
to
feel
breathe.
like we need to dispel that. You do not need a panty liner every day.
if
No,
you had to
it
wear a
doesn't.
panty
Really
liner
odd.
every day, why would they not make knickers that have a panty liner
Built
just
in.
in them?
Oh, but there's so many things that women have to do, then there's nothing been designed to make it easier for them. So- but yeah, I'm with you. It's like,
Yeah.
You do not need to wear a panty
No.
liner every day.
I think that's kind of random that they would even say that. That they would
Yeah.
even mention vaginal discharge.
Maybe that person might
I
have a
feel like-
problem.
Yeah, you sounds like you had more education
That's
than a lot
what
of
I
people.
was
Maybe my
Yeah.
school was trying to be like the best and then actually didn't
Yeah.
do it
What
that well
else
enough
could
to
we tell
backtrack now.
them?
I wonder if there's a high rate of like thrush in the
Like
cohort
rocks.
if everyone's wearing a panty liner every single day of their life.
Maybe.
Why ain't you got
Maybe
any
we
money?
need to check
Because I got to
up
buy
there.
so many pants.
Yeah.
It must be expensive.
It would be. Yeah,
But
not
yeah,
necessarily.
So I just wanted to tag that on the end as a fun one.
Yes.
Okay, next one. Don't know what number we're on. There's an idea, a conception, that if a period is light and pain-free, must mean you're unhealthy or you have like another hormonal imbalance. People love that online. Like, see on TikTok, hormonal imbalances everywhere. And I guess this is the belief that like only heavy, painful periods are normal because we're trying to normalize like what's normal. People are getting a bit confused there. Thoughts?
Yeah, I think everybody's periods are different.
Yeah.
So what's normal to you is potentially not going to be normal to the next person. We've said before, you should advocate for yourself. If you have heavy, painful periods, then go and see somebody. If your periods you think are very manageable and you want to carry on having periods, then totally fine. I'm down with it. If you want to think about stopping your periods and you're happy to go on a contraception medication, then go and see somebody and go on a contraceptive medication because you don't need to have periods. But I think determining how well you are from how heavy or light your periods are is not a thing.
No, and some people do have light periods. They're lucky.
Yeah.
Light,
So
pain-free.
jealous.
Great. If you're having a regular period and it's a few days and you don't have any pain, that's great. That is perfect, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Again,
Yeah.
it's just different, isn't it, for people? Some people could have a light period that it lasts way longer,
Yeah.
or a light period that's shorter, or a heavy period that's longer or shorter.
Get it over and done within 2 days, great.
I think unless it's causing...
It kind of highlights that like periods don't. It's okay that periods are not painful and heavy for
Yeah.
everyone. It's quite normal for the large majority of women who have periods to not have problems.
That's how we
And
want
that's-
it to be.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah.
Obviously, some people do, as you've said, but if you are someone that doesn't have pain during your period and it's a normal length, then enjoy it.
Yeah. Live your best life.
There are certain conditions that if your periods have changed and become much lighter, or they've always been very, very light, there can be a condition that you've got that could mean that you've got adhesions in your womb. So
Like scar tissue?
Scar
The
tissue.
sticky bits when they
Yeah.
hold together. Okay.
So I think we mentioned it in one of the episodes before, something called Asherman's syndrome, where you get this scar tissue between the front and back walls of the womb, which can mean that your periods can be very scanty, very light, not
Okay.
very there at all. Asherman's is usually after instrumentation of the womb, so people that have unfortunately had lots of miscarriages or you've had
Okay.
lots of surgeries on the womb, they can develop Asherman's, or if they've had an infection, or if they've had a fibroid removed that's breached into where the endometrium is, you can get scar tissue. Anything that can cause scar tissue in the lining of the womb can lead to Asherman's, which can lead to very light periods. Now, you can see these quite often if you have an ultrasound scan which puts water into your womb. You can see that there's like these stringy projections from the top to the bottom. These can be removed by hysteroscopy, so that's the camera into the lining of into where the endometrium is.
Yeah.
So that we
Which
can
we've got
see.
a full episode on.
Full episode on that.
Just a quick plug.
And these can be taken down. Unfortunately, it's not quite as easy as take them down and it's all fine, because they can be taken down and sometimes go back together. So there's sometimes treatments that you have after that. So you would take them down and then give people hormonal treatments to try and really thicken up the line of the womb so they start having periods again.
Okay.
So having very light periods,
Maybe if you've previously had, if
Yeah.
you notice a change, so if you previously had like, a moderate, what you would define as like moderate period loss, like 4 or 5 days, and then suddenly you've got a really light period for like 1 or 2 days,
Yeah.
a change to you that is unusual.
once, don't
have
even
it.
think about it.
Yeah, once
But
fine.
carrying on.
Yeah.
Maybe that should trigger you to
Think
go and see.
why.
Have a little chat.
But I guess with Asherman's, it's only, am I right that if you wanted to get pregnant, it might be a problem? But if
Yeah,
you
if you
didn't
don't
want to
wanna
get
get pregnant,
pregnant,
then it doesn't
and you're having light
Okay.
periods,
So,
great.
Yeah.
It would just affect you being able to get pregnant.
Yeah.
Okay.
And sticking with the period theme, so period pains are a sign of damaged adrenals, imbalanced hormones, or unstable blood sugars.
Ooh,
What do
so
we
many
think of that?
things.
That is a lot of things.
I guess just like on the flip side of what we said there, it's great if lots of people don't have pain during their period, but it is also normal for periods to be a little bit painful. So period pains are not a sign of there being a problem necessarily. We can talk a bit about adrenal glands. So they're like these little glands that sit on top of your kidneys and they produce hormones. Like one of the common ones is adrenaline.
I wonder where that's come from, though. that,
Yeah.
like,
I
the
think-
sci-
I genuinely think, especially on TikTok, people just think like, what sounds scientific? Oh, I'll say that, then I sound clever, then
Yeah.
people believe me. And I
Because
don't know
that,
why.
Like,
bit weird,
where
really.
have adrenals come from in the... I don't feel like we've mentioned it once before.
No.
on the podcast,
I mean, if
so-
anything, adrenaline, like if you go out, cross the road, get run over and break your leg, adrenaline is what stops you feeling the pain for a little while. So
Yeah.
your adrenals, maybe, I
Well,
guess
maybe
that
that
might make
almost
sense if
follows
they're saying you don't
us.
have enough
Maybe that was
adrenaline.
explained it.
Yeah, but no, and period pains are common, are normal. If they're severe and they're every cycle, you might have an underlying condition like endometriosis. But I wouldn't, I wouldn't worry about your adrenals or your blood sugar.
We'll put that one behind.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, next one. Upsets me because I love a bath. Don't have a bath or a hot shower when you're on your period. And I think the idea here is that hot water will like make your flow heavier.
I genuinely
I feel like
just
it's
don't get it.
weird.
Surely
I
you'd
love
want
that.
to have a hot bath when
Yeah.
your period's like.
And like,
Yeah, it can help with the pain,
chill,
can't
cozy,
it?
comfy.
it's what we
Yeah.
kind of use for when people are in the early stages of labour, for pain relief, to kind of immerse yourself in water. People feel much better immersed in
I mean,
water.
heat pads. People use
Yeah.
heat pads for pain.
Literally hot water bottles.
Like,
And they've gone, no.
No, it's fine to have a hot bath or a shower on your period, and if it helps with your pain, then do it.
Yeah,
because that's
amazing.
definitely
important
do
for you.
it.
Yeah.
Do be careful with hot water bottles. I do feel like I'm being a bit preachy here, but people do use hot water bottles and can give themselves burns with hot
Yeah.
water bottles.
It's with like, if
Really
it's
nasty.
really hot and you have it on for a long time, you can get skin changes that are basically burns.
Yeah, and what I didn't know as well, hot water bottles, they have an expiry date. It says it on the top. And if you use them after the expiry
I
date,
didn't know that.
there's so much more of a risk of them bursting.
My hot water bottle
and
was my
people have got,
nana's.
like, please throw that, or like
It
put it
must
in a
be at
little
least
safe
like
box
40 years
somewhere.
old.
Get to Home Bargains.
To be fair, that might be like
Oh my God. I'm
made
glad
so
you
long
told
ago
me.
that it's fine. Maybe
No.
it's like extra strong.
Yeah, like they used to make them well in the past, so now they're not as
No, they're
good.
cheap.
I'll
look for an
get a
expiry.
new one.
Yeah.
Yeah, they actually have. They've got like a timer on the top which tells you how. It's genuinely not even a year.
Oh my God.
Like some of them
timer?
are literally not even a year.
Rubber.
I'm going to go home and look at mine.
Me too.
Yeah, Home
It's
Bargains.
summer, but we need to have a look.
Another one. Period poops clear you out, so women are less likely to get colon cancer.
So period poops are really common. So during the last part of your cycle, just before you start your period, your hormones drop. So progesterone drops, and progesterone is known to actually slow down your like bowel. So it can make you more constipated. So you might find in the
Okay.
second part of your cycle, and when you're pregnant, you're constipated because you've got lots of progesterone. So then if you think about when that
Smooth your gut
drops,
motility down.
yeah, when that progesterone drops, then your gut motility will increase a little bit, and you're more likely to have a more like wet poo just come out of my mouth.
Increases that motility
Increases
again, yeah?
that motility, and you've also got a rise of prostaglandins, another hormone that makes your womb contract. Say some really nice things in this podcast. Makes your womb contract, and that can also like stimulate your bowel a little bit. So you've got a couple of reasons why you might have
Wet
a
boobs.
period poop, but I don't think it makes you less likely to get colon cancer.
No.
Sadly, it would be great if it did.
Yeah.
Probably does clear you out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, I think people feel better once they've, if you're a bit constipated and then you go again. Feel great.
But it is
Yeah.
really common for people to like, on the first day of the period or like the day before to suddenly notice they have like an urgent poo, or a big poo, or like
Some people can have
different to
diarrhea
usual.
like when
Yeah.
they're on their
Yeah.
period.
It's quite common, yeah.
definitely.
Um,
But yeah,
but it wouldn't reduce your risk of colon cancer. No.
Well.
definitely not.
This one I've seen a lot, right? People, I feel like lately have got really into like how they can eat for their periods and do all these things, but people say that you need to eat more calories when you're on your period, because there's this idea that like, your body's working hard to get rid of it, it needs more energy, like you can have that extra chocolate bar.
Yeah.
What do we think?
Rubbish.
Oh, it's sadly
Can
not
you still have
true,
the
is
extra
it?
chocolate?
Still have the chocolate bar.
Oh, you can still treat yourself and have a chocolate bar, but you can't kind of like base it on science. You don't burn any more calories on your period than you would in any other day.
That's actually quite sad to hear.
But also, if you feel like you want a chocolate bar because you're feeling a bit tired and crampy and it'll make you feel better, eat it.
Yeah. There might be a slight increase in your metabolic rate in the second half of the cycle. But it really doesn't mean that you need to eat more food. I think this is kind of a myth that goes on with pregnancy as well. People think that they need to eat for 2 while they're pregnant, but actually in the 3rd trimester, so towards the end of your pregnancy, you can have 1 extra slice of bread a day, the calorie equivalent, and that's it.
I feel like there's a lot of pregnant people out there eating a little bit more than 1 slice of bread.
I think being pregnant makes you hungry.
I'm being on your period. I'm being on
I'm being on your cycle. I'm being on the first part
It
of
would
your
be
cycle.
interesting for us to
Yeah.
ask Christy, who we did our endometriosis
Yeah,
nutrition
that's
episode
true.
with, if there's like certain foods that are better to eat.
I imagine
I've
she would
heard a lot
say
about that.
colourful foods,
Foods she'd eat
high in
the rainbow.
antioxidants,
Yeah.
and eat the rainbow, which is
Yeah.
what your friend said, isn't it?
All of the times of the
Yeah.
cycle.
Yeah.
I don't know if we put it in. Don't remember how many myths we got. But one of my friends is eating for her period. So in different stages of her cycle, she's eating different foods. And she told me this, and I was like, oh my god, amazing! Like, sounds like you're having like a
What's she
nice,
eating?
nice range of food.
Yeah,
Honestly,
what is it?
I don't remember. But she's got a wee app, and it tells her what to eat. And I was just like,
It just feels like I'm just
don't
like,
she
what are we
pay for
going to
the
eat this week?
Imagine
meal plan.
HelloFresh has a period section. You order that week.
It sounds nice, doesn't it? I don't know if there's any evidence behind needing to do that, but like if it's raising awareness about periods and how you can be nice to yourself during
And if it makes you feel better.
That's nice.
If you feel good, then go for it. But flipping heck, who has the time to sort that out? Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I'm like, we just can't eat
shop's
too much
chaos
fish.
Too many pastas in a week.
Yeah, I think that's the end.
When
of
do
my
ice gems come into your
caring.
cycle?
When do the ice gems become
Ice
the
gems?
chocolate gems? They change colour. One's nice beige.
Jammy Dodgers.
Oh,
Yeah, jammy
Do
dodgers.
you remember those purple ones? They were nice.
I kind of think that this is like too much.
Yeah.
Like, I just wouldn't.
You're not buying into it.
No, it feels like very too much. I do agree with though that people might feel different in different times of the cycle, and there is a lot of information out there about training around your cycle. So if you're somebody that does a lot of exercise, then it might be that you're able and less able at different points of your cycle to do different things. So sometimes training plans can be adapted with regards to that. I'm saying this out loud though, and then I'm like poo-pooing changing what you eat. But
When we say this, so we've recently done a little series on our Instagram about the menstrual cycle and different phases. And one of the phases we chatted about, you might have reduced energy.
yeah.
You might, even if you don't need more calories in it, you might feel like you want to eat like more. More.
And
also,
also,
like,
the problem
during-
is that when you're eating more sugary foods, you are then setting yourself up to fail again because you're kind of then going to have a drop in your energy.
Yeah.
So I think, I get it. Eat what you want so that you're feeling better about yourself, but have a think about, if I have that, am I actually then going to feel even worse in a couple of hours?
Yeah, and if you think about what we know about the phase after ovulation before your period, when progesterone's high, you're bloated, you're a bit constipated, and you're tired.
Yeah.
So I would think in that phase, the best things to eat are like healthy fruit and veg, high fibre foods
Let's
to
make
help
ourselves.
you have more energy and have a poo.
There's a winner that I
poo.
follow called Anna Archer, and she posted something recently about what she does in different parts of the cycle to optimise her workouts and stuff. And one of them, I can't remember which part of the cycle was, but she was like, I do actually avoid caffeine in this part of my cycle. Don't know what the
couldn't do that.
science
Alison's
behind
like-
that is.
Nope, I have coffee every day, multiple times.
I saw a TikTok last night of this couple, and this man was saying that every time his girlfriend comes onto her period, they're trying to get pregnant, he goes out and makes a steak dinner, and bless him, it was really sweet because he was making a nice dinner, and then at the end he literally said, he was like, don't know if it helps, but at least she's getting a steak dinner,
If
that.
you're bleeding, you might
Yeah.
become anemic,
Yeah.
and then having something high in
I
iron.
thought that was a sweet way
that's
to do
very
it.
sweet.
Yeah.
I like it.
I
my
think you
steak
can.
dinner.
Come on, George.
I think you can plan for kind of social events, and I think you can plan for exercise, and I think you can plan for what you might want to do because you know how you might feel. But I don't think that's everybody. Some people do have very cyclical changes with regards to how they feel and energy. Some people have very cyclical changes because they suffer with PMS or PMDD. But I think for the whole, most people won't actually have these massive changes, so won't need to change their lives around their cycle. Because it does, I know I was joking, but it's quite a lot of hassle to try and change your life around when people are living busy lives anyway, having an extra thing on top to change. But obviously different things.
Whatever
work.
works.
If it works for you, go for it.
Yeah.
Another one. The cervix has to dilate to 1 to 3 centimetres to let period blood out, and that's what causes period cramps.
Wow.
I mean,
How long does it take to dilate from to 1 to 3 centimetres when someone's in the later phase
it can
of
take
labour?
like days.
Really?
Oh my gosh,
Yeah.
yeah.
So we assume this doesn't quickly. Boop.
No, it's not like a tap, like on off. You get cramps during your period because of the prostaglandins hormone that we mentioned that makes your womb have little contractions. But you're as like if you think about the cervix, it's got a channel down the middle. That channel is quite narrow diameter. It doesn't need to open much to let
Well, it doesn't
blood
need to
out.
open. If you think about it, so
It's already
when
open
we're
a little
trying
bit.
to do a hysteroscopy, so a camera inside the womb, when we're trying to do an embryo transfer, which is like a tiny straw that we put into the womb to transfer an embryo in, or when we're trying to take a biopsy of the line of the womb, these are all tiny, tiny things. Sometimes we can't get these in, but people still manage to have periods.
Yeah.
Okay, I see where we're going with this.
So
And the other thing is like usually
I don't think you need much for hold to be able to get it.
you know how we talked about like discharge?
Yeah.
So at different times of your cycle, there's a different kind of consistency and amount of mucus in your cervix, in that canal. So when it comes to your period, that will be allowing blood to come through, compared to like when you get pregnant, then it plugs and doesn't want
Tries
anymore.
to keep everything in. Yeah. Okay.
So it doesn't dilate to 1 to 3 centimetres. 100% a myth. You don't need that to have your period, and cramps are not because of that, because that doesn't happen.
No, because I personally, I feel like I get cramps before I get my period, before you even bleed. So
Maybe they're thinking that's your cervix opening.
Yeah.
my cervix is just
It's
having
not.
a party.
No, not true.
I think part of that one was I'd also seen people saying, because this is, it's wrong, but this is your, cervix opening 1 to 3 centimetres. Just think about how painful it's going to be when you have to get to 10 to push a baby out.
Yeah.
And we're just like, no.
No.
no. It'll probably be a lot more painful.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Childbirth, scary.
Yeah, different to a period.
To go into labour, your cervix needs to shorten, because we said your cervix is like 4
Long,
centimetres,
yeah.
so it needs to be completely shortened, and then it starts opening when it's your first baby. Okay, so it's got to do all the shortening, then start opening. So imagine if it had to do all the shortening, then
All
open
the
1 to
opening.
3 centimetres.
Just to have a period.
Just to have a period.
No.
That seems like a lot of effort.
That is not, definitely
Yeah,
not true.
Not true.
And on the pain idea here, there has been suggestions that period pain and period cramps, the level of pain is the same as a heart attack. And I do wonder if this is maybe being like, right, men take it seriously, like I am in a lot of pain.
Yeah, I can get that.
What do we
It's a
think?
different pain, isn't
pain-
it? When you have a heart attack, it's not pain in your cervix.
Pain is subjective, and everyone has a different level of pain.
Yeah,
so some
thresholds.
people have no pain during their periods. Great, look at them. Some people have 10 out of 10 worst pain of their life on the bathroom floor, crying in agony, calling an ambulance during their period. So probably for some people, a period is more painful than a heart attack.
Yeah.
But it's just a subjective thing. I get
feel
where
like
it's coming
very
from.
difficult, because I think you need to have had a period and a heart attack.
Have you ever had a heart
compare.
attack? I don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's lots of things that people say that if you've got kidney stones, that's the same as like labour pains. And I'm like, but if you've not had kidney stones, like
How can you
know?
equate
Like,
them?
I
Yeah.
don't think
Word
you
of
can.
mouth.
I don't think you can compare. Like pain is subjective. Different things that cause pain will be
And
different
you
for
know
different
that you
people.
feel differently, because at different times, this is something that I do not strongly believe, because I know it's true.
I strongly believe this fact.
Something you want to share.
That you feel pain differently in different times of your cycle.
Yeah.
So there might be, for example, if you had your eyebrows waxed, if you had them done at different times of your cycle, it would feel more and less painful. And we know that that's a thing,
I feel
because
like I
you
need to
feel
know
pain differently.
that. I need to know when to go and get things done.
Things are more painful towards the end of your cycle before your period.
Okay.
And a bit less painful during like ovulation. That's what is.
I'm
been
gonna have to
shown.
track my cycle just so I know when to like get my
Get
next
your
piercing.
I'm actually laughing at this next one. Oh god. I've been reading it, trying not to giggle while we were having a conversation. You can push your period out to make it last only 3 days.
Imagine, when you're just like, what? How?
Just see someone sat on the toilet like,
But when you're pushing,
holiday in 3 days.
because when you're pushing, then you're pushing. If you were pushing a poo out,
Yeah.
that's what you're doing.
Yeah.
Please don't.
Yeah, please don't do that here. Right now. Imagine
on camera.
that's the muscles that you're using for
Yeah.
that. You're not.
You can't push.
You can't push.
Can't control your muscles of your womb as you can control muscles of your pelvic
No.
floor. So if you're sat on the toilet
Okay.
pushing, you might strain, and if there's blood in your vagina, it might come out fast, but it's not coming. You're
No.
not controlling
You're
how
not-
fast it comes
yeah,
out of your
yeah,
womb.
yeah.
That comes out at the rate that your womb decides.
Yeah.
You can't control
Your
that.
womb's the controller there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
So you
can't
don't do
push.
that.
And don't do that, because you're going to cause yourself a pelvic floor problem. Because if you're straining and straining,
Yeah.
like you're actually not going to help the situation.
No.
I get the idea. Sounds amazing. Get the period over and done with. But like,
not a thing.
not like that.
No.
And anybody who's had a baby vaginally will be able to tell you that when you're pushing the muscles that you were doing then.
I think a lot of people, having not had one,
Yeah.
a lot of people say
It's
it
the same.
feels like you need a poo, and then you realise you actually
having a baby.
need to have a baby.
You're
And you
using
push it the same way.
You're using the same as if you were having a poo.
So don't a lot of people get worried about
Yeah, because
having a poo while they have the baby?
Yeah.
a lot of
You
people
can't really
do, because
control
you
that.
can't control
Which
what
one,
you're doing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And you don't want people to hold back. You want them to push right down into your bottom where
Yeah.
you would usually have a poo from, because they're the muscles that are going to, it's your pelvic floor that's opening to
I mean,
allow
that's
the
like
baby to
something
come
that you've
out.
done multiple times over your life. You know what it feels like.
You had a poo, not had a baby.
Not had a baby. So it's a nice way of like describing
Equating it.
what you need to
You
do.
need to push right down
have-
into your bottom.
Yeah.
That is the only way that you're pushing.
And some people do poo, and that is fine.
Yeah.
Just put that out there.
Push your womb. Like, there is no.
I don't have much
pushing.
control of her.
No.
No, you don't. She
Well,
does her
there
own
isn't.
thing.
It's under its own
It's an
control.
autonomic
like,
thing,
yeah.
isn't it? You can't control
So
it.
you definitely can't push.
But I like it. Great myth.
One that sort of tags on to the end of that is people online, as they always do, have been saying that like if a period goes on for longer than normal, for ages, whatever, that could actually be that you've been pregnant, not known, and that's an early pregnancy loss.
Yeah, we do have people that come in that say, I think I've had a few miscarriages, and you kind of say, oh, that's, I'm really sorry about that. When was that? What? And they'll say they've not had a positive pregnancy test, but they've had like a heavier period or a longer period. And if you've not had a positive pregnancy test, then that's kind of not a pregnancy in a sense. But there could be a position where someone's bled longer or bled heavier that they were pregnant, but if you've not done a pregnancy test, we would never know.
We'd never know.
Yeah.
And
That
even
grey area
if you've
almost.
had kind of a heavier bleed, the pregnancy test would still be positive if you were pregnant.
Yeah.
Because the pregnancy test doesn't go negative in 2 seconds.
Yeah.
But yeah, it takes a few days.
Yeah,
Weeks
so
sometimes, yeah.
I think if you are thinking that you're having miscarriages, or if you think that you were pregnant, then do a pregnancy test at the time. I
Yeah,
think it's very
find
difficult
out.
to kind of differentiate between
Yeah.
them.
Yeah.
Another one. You should not swim or hike on your period because
This is my
sharks
favourite.
and bears can smell out period blood.
Imagine.
I mean, obviously this
Love
is
it.
meaning not like
I was
hiking
just
in
going
the
to
UK.
say, because
don't have
when you're
bears,
going around the
so-
Lake Districts,
Yeah.
there's so
Oh,
many
thank
bears.
you.
and all the sharks in the lakes.
Yeah, the squirrels will come after you. The odd dog. No, there's no reason not to go hiking on your period or swimming. It's not going to make you attract sharks or bears, and you're not going to die.
Just had a thought when you said
We hope.
dogs. I've seen something before about dogs knowing if you're on your period, and like they always come up and try and smell women when
I've
they're on
heard
the
that
period.
before as
Oh.
well. I mean, like dogs obviously have a very good sense of smell, but even if you're not on your period, they'll often come and smell your crotch.
I mean, that's what they do. They sniff bums to say
sniff
hello.
bums.
Yeah.
That's weird.
So I wouldn't worry about like if you're on your period, people aren't going to be able to tell. Like you can still go visit your friend's house with a dog. The dog will probably sniff your crotch whether or not you're on your
Or
period.
it just announces she's bleeding.
Yeah,
Right.
but yeah, no, you could definitely definitely go hiking in the UK. No problem, no bears, no sharks.
I mean, be
But other
wary of bears
places-
and sharks in
Generally.
general.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I don't
Yeah.
think that's a...
Yeah.
Okay.
Good. So the next one we've sort of touched on a little bit, but it's this idea that you have different strengths in each phase of the cycle, and this is slightly less, the physical training, the exercise, but more like, is there time when, I'm analytical and I should be making my big life decisions, and times when I shouldn't be, and things like that? Am I more creative when I'm
Yeah,
bleeding?
lots of people describe this, that
Yeah.
they feel, and it is definitely true that your hormones have an effect on you physically and also emotionally and
100%.
mentally. So as they fluctuate, you will feel different times in your cycles. I think it affects some people more than others. So some people have like an extreme response to the change in the hormones, and some people just notice that, I'm a bit more energetic today. But yeah, you can track your cycle and try and track when you feel certain things at different times of your cycle. And as Nick said before, you can use that to plan things in your life, and that can be quite useful, training or like big meetings when you feel more confident, that kind of thing.
Because you do feel definitely more confident at different times of your cycle.
Yeah.
I think if you can like plan for your biggest life-changing meeting at that time, then go for it. But also, if this is going to be anxiety provoking because you're trying to track how confident you feel compared to what you're wearing,
I'm
but
presenting at a conference on that day, but I'm going to be in this phase. I'm not going to be able to do it.
I
Yeah.
think
Don't let it hold you back.
Let it stress you out.
I think that could make things worse.
Yeah.
That's why I do think sometimes focusing on the minutiae of everything's going on can be unhelpful for some people.
Yeah. And there's also bigger things than your period or your cycle that affect how you feel. So
If
it's not
rained and your hair looks rubbish.
exactly if someone was rude to you, if you've had a fight with your partner or your friend, like there's loads of things. If you're hungover,
If you've just listened to the best podcast ever.
Forgotten your lunch. There's various different
That is the worst kind of day.
Totally.
Another one which I can already see the answer for. Handling certain foods like dairy and tomatoes on your period will cause them to spoil.
Yeah, not true. And it stems back to all this like historical
Toxic
crap about women on their periods being toxic, and they should go and like hide in a tent till it's over because they shouldn't touch anything, and they'll turn the milk sour and all of that crap.
I think obviously this is massive extremes, and I hope that no one will believe that this is a thing. With a cultural aspect, there are definitely different situations with periods and what you can and can't do, which is tradition and what people like to carry on with, which is totally fine. But we know from a science point of view that it wouldn't harm anything. And it wouldn't change anything from that point.
If your milk's off, it's just off.
You just need to buy more milk.
Probably a you problem.
It's same as your hot water bottle.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's not years out of date though, your milk.
I'm going to have a look. Oh, the milk? No.
Yeah.
Well, it
Check
tasted
it
fine this
too.
morning.
as long as it smells fine.
Yeah.
So our next myth is one that I think we've touched on quite a few different episodes where we've been talking about contraception. There's this idea that you have to have a break from hormonal contraception to detox your body. You know, you have to bleed or detox. Maybe they're thinking it's toxic again. What do we think?
It's really common actually, and like lots of people do stop their pill or whatever because they think it's nice to have a detox from hormones. It's not necessary.
Yeah.
So medically, scientifically speaking, you don't need to stop your pill, patch, implant, coil to have a detox. There's no benefit from a medical point of view. You cannot have a period for a very long time and be very healthy, and it's all fine.
And still be able to get pregnant.
And then
afterwards.
still be able to get pregnant when you stop the contraception. But if you want to do that, that's up to you.
Yeah. All your own choice,
a lot of people
isn't
do it because they want to see. They always say, like, I want to see how I feel without hormones. I want to see what my cycle's
go
like.
natural.
That's absolutely fine.
Yeah.
If you want to do it, do it. But you don't have to.
Yeah.
And understand that if you do that and then you get heavy painful periods, or if you get irregular bleeding, then you will be offered hormones as a first line.
Yeah.
Because we don't have any other treatments to offer people.
No.
So I think it's that kind of knowing that if you do have problems with your periods, or if you had problems with your periods when you were 25, you've gone on the pill and you've been great from 25 to 28, and then you're like, oh, I'll see if I've still got problems with my periods. You probably still have.
Yeah, you probably
Like,
do.
it's not, it won't have cured any problems.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I suppose it depends, like, what you're going to do. Don't do it like 2 weeks before you go on holiday, or don't have a think about if you're going to have a hormonal detox, if that's what you want to do. Then really
Think
kind of
when's
consider when's best,
Yeah.
because especially when you're coming off any kind of contraception, you might have quite erratic bleeding.
Yeah.
Readjustment, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah. This next one's interesting. Estrogen surge makes your face more symmetrical and therefore attractive.
Yeah, this is
why
an
girls are
interesting one.
pretty.
So, like, attractiveness is, again, a subjective thing, isn't it? So, like, generally, people who have symmetrical faces are deemed more, like, generally attractive when people have researched this. You know, if you have, like, pictures of people's faces, ask other people to rate how attractive they are.
Yeah.
Generally.
There's so many
Straight
studies
away
about that
how-
inside.
All it's giving me is Tinder. I'm like,
Yeah.
am I on Tinder thinking your
But
face
there's-
is symmetrical, yours
It
isn't?
could be, but you might not
wasn't.
you might not be aware of that.
Yeah.
Like, it might be
They
a
got-
subconscious thing.
I've seen a study before where they got a picture of someone's face, they showed them their real face, and then an edited version where it was mirrored, and everyone thought the mirrored one was more attractive because it was
Yeah.
more symmetrical.
Oh.
And it seemed more kinder. Like a
Weird.
kinder,
Yeah.
endearing face.
I want to see my
But-
face fully symmetrical now because I
Well,
know
that's
it
the other
isn't.
thing, isn't it? Not everyone really. Well, we don't have symmetrical faces. We're not symmetrical.
How do you know?
that's just-
I might have a fully symmetrical face.
Let me
You might-
see.
I've tried to do in face mirror.
You are very
before.
attractive.
Maybe that's what it is.
But estrogen
Rosalind.
specifically, the thinking behind this is that because a lot of people feel more attractive during the mid-cycle when estrogen is high, and again with these studies where they've looked at they've taken pictures of people during their like mid-cycle and asked other people to rate them. Some of those studies show that people find the people in the mid-cycle more attractive. Whether or not that's because their faces are more symmetrical, it's not shown. Some studies have shown that that has nothing to do with
Yeah.
it.
Could be that you're feeling better, so you've put more effort in, so therefore you
Exactly.
think you're more attractive.
You wear
Also-
different things at different
Yeah.
times of your cycle.
If you're feeling more attractive, then you're more confident and you will come across as more attractive to the
Yeah,
other person. So
yeah.
theperson. So there's so many other factors that.
In that
Just
case,
learn.
we've all done something to make ourselves less attractive because we all have a nose piercing.
Oh, do we
So-
all have a nose piercing?
Yeah.
Is it all on the
So
same
we-
way?
so-
We're this side, It's on my right.
We're the same. You're
We're
the
on the
same.
left.
That's why we sit in this
We're
format.
symmetrical.
If anyone ever wondered why we sit like
whole
that, it's so we can
podcast.
all have a nose piercing on this one.
We've done it so the podcast is
Crazy.
attractive. Have you two just got studs in?
Yeah.
And we've both got rings?
We are
There we
very
go.
attractive.
Wow.
Right
I don't like to bring attention to it. My dad still hates it.
Really?
Still.
After like 20 something.
Yeah.
I don't think my dad's a fan of
My mum
that.
and dad always say, like, all my piercings are, like, bodily mutilation. And I'm like, okay, but I like it. It's okay.
Yeah,
Who
good.
is it?
Modification. Mutilation.
Mod.
I think the long and the short of that is that all studies have said different.
Yeah.
There's no general consensus.
Yeah.
And that
no
we're all
general
beautiful.
consensus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you feel extra pretty, great.
Yeah, and I think at different time of cycles, it is totally right, because if you are full of progesterone and you're bloated and you're about to come on your period, you're not going to be wearing that little tiny top or whatever. Not that I'd be wearing a tiny top.
Yeah, or if you do, you might feel a little bit less comfortable.
Yeah,
a little
so
bit
you
less-
Yeah,
might not
that
look
energy might
attractive
go off,
because you've
yeah.
got like a inverted
Yeah.
kind of energy.
I guess there's many other factors that feed into attractiveness,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
estrogen is not the only thing.
Yes,
It's not
agree. Agree.
Okay, so the next one, another one that I feel like we've talked about a lot. Weirdly, I got a text the other week from one of my friends literally asking me this question, so I'm going to send her this podcast and be like, listen. The idea that women continue to produce new eggs after birth, and you know that's constant all the way through their life. There's more and more and more and more and more.
Not a thing.
No.
No,
it's
not true.
It's rubbish, but sorry, no,
Yeah.
not a thing. You are
You're
born
born
with
with it.
all your eggs that you're ever going to have, and actually they just go through atresia, so you get rid of them throughout your life. You're born with more eggs than you could ever use, but you don't store them up if you're on the pill. They are just
Yeah, I was
going to
say, I think that's another
That's
big
one of our little follow-ons.
Yeah.
people thinking if you're on the pill or you've got the coil and you're not having periods, you're saving all those eggs, and then you've got so many more chances of getting pregnant. You'll start menopause later. Not the case.
No.
Definitely not a thing. Unfortunately, after age of 35 especially, your fertility starts to decline, and after 40 it really takes a nosedive.
Yeah.
If people are thinking that they would like to get pregnant, then they should have that in mind, because you can't wait till 45 to have a baby if you
No.
want to use your own eggs.
It's a
Genuinely.
bit risky, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a really nice analogy, and I can't remember where I heard it, so I can't give credit, but it's not my analogy. Where it's like your ovaries are like a vault of eggs, and you're born with all of the ones that you'll ever have, and then
Little
each
treasure chest.
little treasure chest.
Oh, that's so
It's nice,
cute.
and then actually the treasure chest is new. You just came up with that, so that's nice.
And the eggs are the treasure.
So each month, like a selection of eggs get recruited from the vault. They get brought up to the front from the vault, and then one of them will be released. But those other eggs don't go back into the vault; they get lost, and over time, the vault will sort of slowly deplete
Be
a number of eggs.
Yeah, you've used up all
And then
the
your
treasure.
treasure chest
Yeah.
is just a chest.
Yeah,
It's just a shriveled up empty.
it's very small. But I think when I looked into this myth as well, there was something. I was like trying to find out where it came from. There was some study on rats that showed that rats do have new eggs or something like
Oh,
that.
wow.
And they were relating that to humans and kind of saying that like it's a myth. Your fertility doesn't decline. You will produce more eggs. It's not true.
I'm like,
we're not
We're
rats.
not rats. There's quite a lot of differences.
Not at all. So yeah, everything Nick said is truth.
Is it? Gorge. I think one that is hard on the back of that, because this is what my friend was asking me. She was like, should I buy this test that I've seen on Instagram? Should I do this? Should I do that? And I was like, I literally sent her was it the How to Get Pregnant ins and outs?
Yeah.
Sent her one of the episodes, and I was like, we've discussed it here, but
Love it.
do we want to
I love that you're just
home?
directing
Yeah.
the podcast.
Anyone
on
asks me a question, I'm like,
the
here you
question.
go.
Yeah.
I won't answer you. You have to listen.
Don't take your Instagram blood test to find out how many eggs you've got
No,
left.
so
No.
the blood test that I assume you're referring to is anti-Müllerian hormone, which is AMH, which gives us your fertility potential. It is helpful if you're having IVF because it will help us dose you with regards to how much medication you need to have for stimulation, because as Alison just said then, you have one egg released a month, but when we're doing IVF we want lots, we want to recruit a good number of these follicles, so that AMH will help guide that. Now AMH, and there's been lots of really good research saying this, does not correlate to getting pregnant naturally.
Okay.
So you can have a low AMH, but you can still get pregnant naturally. If you think, oh, all you need to do is release 1 egg on a monthly basis. You don't need for us to collect 20 eggs.
Yeah.
So I think it's really difficult because people, if you're 25 and you have your AMH done and you're like, oh, it's normal, but it's on the low side of normal. What does that mean? Like, what are you going to do? Does that mean that you're going to have an egg freeze? Or
Suddenly tell your partner, like, let's have a baby when you weren't planning one before. Find a partner that you don't necessarily like.
Yeah.
Just to have like,
I thought this was you giving advice.
Yeah.
Oh no, these are things you shouldn't do. But things that, like, if you've been given a result and you've interpreted that as you're not fertile or you're not going to be fertile for long and you believe it, then you're going to potentially change the course of your life. And that's
not
dangerous.
necessarily for the better.
I think it's not true.
It's really difficult when people can get these tests quite readily available. So,
I mean, always be cautious if you're ordering something off Instagram or TikTok Shop or Facebook.
Shop.
Always.
I just think as well, though, what if it came back and it was like 0.5, as in mega low? Like, you don't get any
that, and I
follow-up.
didn't even know that meant mega low. I'm like,
I assume that
get numbers,
I
have no
assume
idea.
that they would send you like, this is very low on a letter or whatever. But then what are you going to do with that? Who follows that up? Who sees you for that? What do you feel like when you've got this result at home and it's a Saturday afternoon and there is nobody that you can get in touch with?
But the other thing is, like, if you're on hormonal contraception, then that affects your AMH. So you might not know that. You might be on the pill thinking, do I want a baby next year? Maybe I'll think about it. Let's see if I'm fertile. Get this AMH test, which you then have no counselling about. They don't tell you that the pill can affect your AMH.
See, that's really interesting. I've never heard that before, that it does. So, like, I'm not going to, but if I did, I'd be like, why is it so low? And I'd be like, because you're on contraception.
I think if you're going to have a medical test, have it
with a medical professional.
With advice from a medical professional. And AMH, only have it if you're going through IVF.
Yeah. Good advice. I think that's what I told her. I sent this one through.
Another one. Douching after sex prevents pregnancy by washing sperm out.
So this is not true. No. So douching is when you use water, put it in your vagina to kind of wash your vagina out. Douching is bad. You should never douche. Douching is bad because your vagina it's colonised by lots of healthy bacteria that keep it healthy. And if you wash your vagina out, then you're going to get rid of all the healthy bacteria. Like with your gut. People always have this good analogy with, like, healthy bacteria in the gut. Same with your vagina. It's not good for you. And if you've had sex, the sperm can get very quickly through your cervix into your womb. You're not going to be able to wash those out.
Also, I'm like, please no one use this as a form of contraception.
It's not a form of contraception, no. Yeah, not to be done. Yeah. If you've had sex and you don't want to be pregnant, douching is not going to get rid of the sperm, and you then might need to think about something like emergency contraception.
Yeah. But we still say pee after sex so you don't get an STI.
UTI.
Is there UTI?
Yeah. UTI.
In my head I was saying don't say HDMI. Because that's like the TV cable, so it still came out.
That is good advice. Because women have a really short urethra. So they shoot from the outside to the bladder. And so if you have sex, then the bacteria can get up the urethra a little bit easier. So if you have a wee after sex, it kind of washes out any bacteria.
And you won't get the HDMI cable.
I
can't believe I did that. I was thinking so hard, don't say the wrong thing, don't say the wrong thing.
Sometimes that makes it worse.
I know. And as well, one that sort of follows that is this idea that your vagina should be scent-free, shouldn't smell anything. Maybe it should smell like flowers and roses, and there's loads of things you can eat and do and take to make her smell.
Yeah, not a thing. And please don't eat, do, or take anything. All of the things that are marketed to try to get people to buy them and use them, and you shouldn't use them.
No, scented things aren't good for your vagina or your vulva, and it all stems from that kind of like old myth of periods being dirty and vaginas and vulvas being dirty, and they're not. That's why we don't call them sanitary products, we call them period products, and that's why we avoid anything that's scented, because it's actually bad for your vulval vaginal health, which we talk about in our episode. That's my favourite title ever, Vulval and Vaginal Wellness, Down There Care.
You just forgot it.
How to get pregnant, the ins and outs.
That's a good one. Yeah. But yeah, you don't need to have a vagina that smells like roses. No one does. No one should.
If you do that, it's almost an issue in itself. Why has there been a rose there? So the next one, sorry, she buffered. If neither partner climaxes during sex, you can't get pregnant.
Yeah,
there's just no chance.
Yeah, not a thing. So even if a man doesn't orgasm, then you can still get pregnant. There is sperms that come out pre-orgasm, so you can still get pregnant from that.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of women will probably say they don't orgasm through penetrative sex. So yeah, not a thing.
Yeah.
No.
So I'm
Don't rely on that.
debunked.
I think sadly, if that was true, there would
No
be
one
a
would.
very low birth rate.
Imagine. Nobody's pregnant.
But because it's not necessary, which is kind of weird, isn't it? It just shows that like orgasms are just for fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's no like.
Isn't it just humans and dolphins that have sex for fun? 'Cause-
I had pigs as well,
Oh.
but I don't know if that's true.
yeah, there's like a select
Yeah.
number of
no
animals.
clue.
I've never heard of dolphins.
Yeah, dolphins just, or maybe
I can't think of how that would work.
dolphins
How
just
would you
have sex
know
for
that? Like, are you just judging it? Like they're just having fun.
Interviewing
trying to
the
conceive.
dolphins. Maybe it's because
Well, maybe they've got seasons.
Maybe, who knows?
But yeah.
Interesting. We'll have to dig into that.
Sometimes. Maybe that's for the next Mythbusters episode.
Next one. Hormonal contraception ruins your health and isn't worth it for the side effects. I feel we've spoke a lot on hormonal contraception.
I feel like if you'd listened to more than one episode, you know where we stand on this.
Yeah, but I love that we need to drill it in anyway because
Yeah.
we're doing a whole episode which actually will be out by the time this one is out. So there's a contraception episode which is great, and we do also talk about it in lots of episodes because hormone treatments are treatments for things like endometriosis. They will not ruin your health.
No.
They are beneficial for managing period pain, heavy periods, and also preventing unwanted pregnancy. I would say unwanted pregnancy is probably bad for your health, psychologically and mentally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They can also be great for lots of other things as well.
Yeah.
People use them for acne.
Yeah, skin.
So there's lots of issues why hormonal contraceptives are really good. They're not for everybody, and we totally get that. We're not, we're not paid by anybody who
We're not
paid by anybody.
sponsored.
I don't think that. It's not one size fits all. Sometimes
No.
you need to go through a myriad of different ones
Yeah.
to get to the one that you like. But they're not bad.
No.
and they're not going to ruin your health.
No. No.
And then I think this is our last one. Our last myth is that sex on your period should point blank be avoided. You just shouldn't do it. But then on the flip side, the other side that we found was that sex actually helps with period cramps. So it's good, it's bad. How do we feel?
Personal preference, it's not bad. If you are on your period and you want to have sex, you can have sex. If it is helpful for your pain, then great.
Even better.
It's safe, it's fine.
Yeah.
But do know that you can still get pregnant on your period. Because cycles are not always 100% predictable, you might ovulate a little bit early, just after your period. You might be having a bleed mid-cycle and think it's your period. And sperm can live for, potentially up to 7 days in the reproductive tract. So you can have sex on your period if you want to. That's fine. You might get pregnant if you're not using
careful.
contraception. Yeah. And some people do say it does help with the cramps. I don't know what the reason for that is. What's the there must
Well,
be a
because
reason.
I suppose it's like a
Like
relaxing
oxytocin
and
yeah.
like happy hormones.
Yeah.
Yeah, happy hormones.
Like an endorphin release.
Yeah,
That's
which is nice
isn't
for
it?
pain. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I know we said last one, but
Oh,
I've
sorry,
just
go on.
remembered something that we saw the other day, and it was a TikTok that so I'd actually just searched facts about how to get pregnant, and it came up as a fact. It said if a crow picks up your menstrual products,
Love this
so
one.
like your pad, you're unable to get pregnant. And it was someone was doing like a myth busting, and it was one picture saying this, and then it went across and it went true. It's
Yeah.
like, what?
Where does this come from? I mean, obviously
I
it's
can't
not
even think.
true.
I wonder if it's like a cultural old wives' tale, some kind of because when we say babies are delivered by
The stork.
the big bird, the stork.
The stork, yeah.
Is it like the crow's the bad bird and the stork's the good bird?
Maybe.
Because one's white. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Angel,
My
devil,
sister's
white.
obsessed with saying hi to magpies. Like,
Yeah.
Oh my god, so
One's
look,
super
I see
stiff
everybody do
for joy.
that and I
Yeah.
don't get it.
Free for girl.
I mean, definitely not true. It's not like, when you come and see Nick in if you're struggling to get pregnant, she's like, have any crows?
Question one. Any crows?
Well, then no, you will not get pregnant.
Okay.
I'm afraid we can't offer any.
We can say a definitive false, but where it came from, really
So
intrigued to
random.
know.
So
We'll try
we'll
to
just,
find it
we'll
again.
just say if animals have any interaction with your menstrual products, it's not changing anything.
Yeah.
But maybe dispose of menstrual products properly.
Yeah,
Like,
that
can
sounds
you-
a bit sketchy. Why are
We've
the birds
almost
getting
brought
them?
zoology into this. We've had
Twice.
dolphins, sharks, bears,
Crows.
Yeah.
storks.
We're all of the
We'll finish with the animals there, and I think
We got a
Yeah.
bit excited there.
I think we've
enjoyed that
covered
one.
all the myths we've seen. But if you
Yeah.
ever see any and want us to have a little look
Debunk
at
them.
do let us know.
Please send it to
Definitely.
us. Yeah. A quick disclaimer, everything that we've discussed are our own opinions and are not affiliated with where we work, and please don't take anything we've said as personalised medical advice.
Yeah, but if you found this episode funny, interesting, comforting, you know, if we've busted something that you thought was totally true, please leave us a review and subscribe to us wherever you're listening to the podcast just now.
Perfect. So if it might seem a little thing, but we would like you to give us a 5-star review if you liked it, so that we can push out the podcast to as many people as possible.
Yeah, and we really want this episode and all the others to reach as many people as possible to continue dispelling these myths that are online. So if you want to be part of that ripple effect, then please hit the like button.
And make sure you're following us at Between Two Ovaries on all social medias and engage with our content.
Ghostbusters!